For a lot of people that have particularly long-standing lower back pain, when they are standing upright, they are standing like this. They've got an elimination of the natural lordosis. So when they go to bend forwards, they don't know they have this, by the way. And I'm not saying this to scare people, I'm just saying this to point things out, right? Your spinal curve has been reduced, so you don't have any more flexion in the lumbar spine. It's not a function of the fact that you need more forward bending. You're already stuck in forward bending in the lumbar spine, but you're standing up. And this is one of the cool things that we do with the members in the program. Earlier this year, maybe a couple of months ago, we had one of the members upload their flexion extension imaging. And so what you found in this individual, because we measure these things, a lot of the times, you know, you guys go, oh, you look like you've got too much curve, and they're just looking at a physical exam. They're not even measuring things. But this individual had their x-rays. They had a flexion and extension x-ray done, meaning they had an x-ray standing like this, normally. They had an x-ray standing like this, and they had an x-ray standing like this. And what you found is that in the standing up x-ray, normally, they were like this. When they bent forwards, a little bit more bending went through. And by the way, the forward bending in the lumbar spine that did come into the spine when they bent forwards went through the injured segment, right? And some of the other ones remained still and didn't move. Do you know how? Because we measured it specifically to the degree. And do you know what happened when they stood back up and when they bent backwards? When this individual got into a position that looks like this from the surface, their spine wasn't even in the neutral, let alone an actual increase in the curve, which should happen. They couldn't even, when bending backwards from the surface, get to a position where their lumbar spine had an actual increase in the curve. And this is so many people that have lower back injuries. So many of you guys. And why is this happening? Why do we see this phenomenon? And again, you'd only know this if you actually regularly did imaging with patients that have back injuries. The way in which the spinal curves are developed, when we are born, we have one long curve, right? We're just a C-shape. And then we slowly, as we go through sitting, crawling, etc., standing, walking, we start to develop these curves. And they change through the childhood years and the teenage years at various stages through the growth spurts. These spinal curves change a little bit, right, as we're growing. And then they set in once we're at maturity, physically speaking. And what happens is it's the stress and strain on the ligament balance. You can see on the front, and if you go and look on Google, and you can see there's one long ligament that runs along the front of the spine, the anterior longitudinal ligament. And then we have its companion on the back, inside here, the posterior longitudinal ligament. They have a ton of other ligaments here that maintain the backward bending lordosis in the lumbar spine. And they maintain that position there. Those are the ligaments that maintain the alignment. Your muscles do not maintain the alignment. They have a role in maintaining stability of the thing, but they do not maintain the alignment in the resting position. They move off that alignment.